for some strange reason, DJs just love that song, especially Quiet Storm DJs. Because remember, this is the early stages of the Quiet Storm, the first 4 or 5 years of the Quiet Storm, and you would have, songs that people would request that you couldn't play in the daytime, not because they were racy, but just because they were not meant for the daytime. Like Magic Man is absolutely meant for slow dancing, for relaxing with the one you love after a long day, and everything else that follows after that. On everybody, you're right on time for another ride on the Groove Line with your boy Chris Stevens. Hopefully you all are doing well out there. We've reached the midpoint of the week, and as you know, we like to slow it down on the train around here, give you guys a chance to relax, catch your breath, or get inspired to you know share some intimate moments with somebody. We do slow jams around here on Wednesdays, and today we are going to talk about probably the best slow jam of 1981 that you may never have heard, but it's one of the best songs from that year, slow jam or otherwise, and it came out of nowhere to become an absolute hit. Going to be talking about Robert Winters and Fall today, and Robert Winters is the gentleman with the bow tie, and Fall is Walter Turner, who was his writing partner, and they created a song called Magic Man. Now, this song was released in December of 1980, and it really didn't start off as a song that, just kept growing legs, but it eventually grew legs. It just started climbing and climbing and climbing, and by May of 81, it was the number 11 R&B song in the country, and that was 6 weeks after it had broken the top 20. So we're talking about spring 1981 here, and there were some great ballads that came out in 81. I mean, for God's sakes, Luther Vandross's debut album came out later that summer. Tina Marie had just dropped It Must Be Magic. Portuguese Love was on there. Atlantic Star had Send For Me, rest in peace, Wayne Lewis. So there were a lot of great. 81 was a great year for slow jams. I mean, 81 was a great year all around because I was born, but I digress. That being said, Robert Winters' story, as short and as heartbreaking as it is, it's just very uplifting as well, because he was born and raised in Detroit, and he was afflicted with polio when he was 5 years old. Now, mind you, there wasn't a vaccine for polio back then. I mean, there was, but it couldn't stop the effects of polio, and Robert was confined to a wheelchair for most of his life from that point on. But he still loved to sing, he still loved to write, and things around Detroit just weren't happening for him because I guess people looked at a guy in a wheelchair and said, well, can't do anything with him. And I mean, I think that was short-sighted, because when you think about it, one of the greatest musicians to ever do this whole music thing was blind. Two of them, in fact, Stevie and Ray Charles. And if you want to go Detroit blind men, for crying out loud, Emmanuel Johnson of Enchantment is one of the best singers to ever do it. But unfortunately for Robert Winters, it just didn't work out like that for him. So he ended up moving to LA, where he met W.T. Turner, and they collaborated on some stuff, and they wrote this ballad called Magic Man. And it's really, very soft and slow and sweet. I will stop all your frowns and turn them upside down, 'cause I'll be around to hold you near. And it's so crazy that a song that literally just had no motion, no real push behind it, just did what it did. And I mean, Buddha Records was still around at that time. I mean, it wasn't as big as, the Motowns, the Philly Internationals, the Aristas, the Atlantics, the CBS Records of the world, but they just didn't have the muscle to push it. But for some strange reason, DJs just love that song, especially Quiet Storm DJs, because remember, this is the early stages of the Quiet Storm, the first 4 or 5 years of the Quiet Storm, and you would have, songs that people would request that you couldn't play in the daytime, not because they were racy, but just because they were not meant for the daytime. Like Magic Man is absolutely meant for slow dancing, for, relaxing with the one you love after a long day, and everything else that follows after that. So listening to that song, it makes me emotional, because that dude went through so much. And for him to be able to have a legacy to leave his kids by, because he dedicated that song to his daughters. So people might look at it as a love song, but you can also look at it as a family song as well, because he's talking about how he'll be his kid's magic man. So it's a very sweet song. Like I said, it makes me emotional, to be honest with you, but it's a wonderful song. I mean, if you have not heard it, please go listen to it. And unfortunately, Robert Winters passed away in 1989 because, again, polio had just, I mean, for most of his life, that had been afflicted. He was afflicted by it. And of course, that as it messes with all parts of your body. And I think it was heart disease that ended up, being the cause of his passing. But I just listen to that song every chance I get because, again, this is another favorite that is not on stream, and I don't know who has the rights. Does Robert Winters' family have the rights? Does Buddha Records, whoever's in charge of the Buddha catalog, do they have the rights? Does W.T. Turner, who co-wrote the song with him, have the rights? Please, somebody put that song on Spotify. My playlists are hurting without it. My playlists are hurting without a lot of songs, but Magic Man belongs on my summer walking playlist. I'm going to put a link to my summer walking playlist in the bio because it's a song, it's a playlist that I listen to in the summertime when I go for walks in the evening, and I think you guys will like it. But I need Magic Man. I keep wanting to say Robert Winters and Fall Magic Man, just being repetitive, but I really need Magic Man on my summer walking playlist sooner rather than later. But just the incredible, I mean, the song is really basic in nature. I mean, there's a piano, there's a synth part, there's a nice little soft little drum beat in the background, and apparently Robert did all the voices himself. I mean, the lead, the backing vocals, very talented dude. But again, it sucks because, I mean, people treat disabled people poorly now, but it was worse back then. So, you have a dude who literally didn't get to live his dream the way he probably wanted to live it because people looked at a dude in a wheelchair and said, he'll never be a star. And he ended up with one of the top R&B records of 1981. In fact, when Billboard did their year-end top 50 or whatever it was, Magic Man came in at number 20. And it never even broke the top 10. That's what happens when you have a song that just speaks to people, that just gives you momentum. The song gets a boost. People still are the tastemakers now. Don't get me wrong. The consumers are still the tastemakers, by and large. I mean, granted, nowadays you have people who you could be considered industry plants or people who tell you what to listen to, but if people don't rock with stuff, they don't rock with it. And I think just that's the beauty of that song, because that dude literally sang his heart out on that song, knowing that this was probably going to be his best chance, and he did not miss it. So if you have not listened to Magic Man by Robert Winters and Fall, please go listen to it. But if you have, please tell us your memories of it. We'll love to hear from you. And that's going to do it for this ride on the Groove Line. Greatly appreciate y'all as always. Contact information will be in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and tap that notification bell to be notified of all the new videos that drop on this channel. And don't forget to like and comment on these videos because, as you know by now, I do talk back in the comments. So thank you guys for riding with me on the Groove Line. And until the next time we ride, may you find the groove, or may the groove find you.